Hello and welcome to Royal Reviewer Halloween live chat special. So just in case you're wondering why I'm dressed in this rather peculiar way, it's because it's nearly Halloween and I thought it'd be really fun to dress up for Halloween. So I hope you can excuse my new look. What do you think? Are you dressed up? I have my pumpkin. Let me know what you think about my costume. So, as always, the format is exactly the same, even though I'm dressed obviously for Halloween. Say hello. If you've got a question, put it in the chat box below, and I will endeavour to answer any question that's put before me. So, I'm going to start with hello. Okay, so I've put hello. Okay, so Tim. Hi, Tim. Tim posts a lot in the comment section, so it's really good to see Tim here on the live chat. And Tim says, what am I dressed as? Well, in case you've not noticed, this is a very cheap Halloween replica of Prince William's wedding outfit. So I am a spooky Halloween prince type ghoul creature. Let me know what you think. So I'm really excited to take your questions, and for those of you who haven't joined me before, I do not normally dress like this. It is just for Halloween. Look, I even have my pumpkin. So, it's been a very, very busy royal week. I've made lots and lots and lots of videos this week. So I can't see. My hair is in the way. So I've made lots and lots and lots of videos this week. One of my recent videos was on Pippa Middleton and her upcoming wedding plans. So please let me know what you think about Pippa Middleton's upcoming wedding plans if you've seen the video. If not, I'll tell you a little bit about her upcoming wedding plans that has been reported in the media. Basically, she wants a very homely, low-key affair. Well, I say low-key, she wants round about 150 guests. She wants it in her local church, and then she wants to go back to her parents' home in Poundbury for a wedding reception, where there will be a big marquee attached to the big mansion house they have there, and obviously they'll have the wedding reception there with close friends and family. Of course, the Matthewses know a lot of people and the Middletons do as well. Of course, they're all very well connected, so I'd imagine it will be quite a big function. We don't know where the honeymoon might be, but as I put in the video, they have been before to St Bart's in the Caribbean, so we will wait and see what happens. We don't expect Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge, to be a bridesmaid. We wouldn't have thought she'd want to upstage her younger sister. But we do perhaps expect George to be page boy, and if Charlotte is able to walk and be a flower girl, we expect her to be a flower girl. So those are the upcoming plans. Let me know what you think about those. Patricia, hi Patricia. She says, who's my favourite royal and how do I find all these stories? Well, I think I've said before, my favourite living royal is probably Prince Harry. I make a lot of Prince Harry videos. I think he's very down to earth. I think he's very humble. I think he encapsulates a lot of the qualities his mother had. And I think he's very dutiful and carries out his royal duties very well. He has very specific interests in the royal field, such as the military and wounded soldiers. And he carries out his duties with diplomacy and with care and due attention. He reads up on his briefing notes, so he has an idea of who he's going to meet and what he's going to see beforehand. He's very engaging. I mean, I could just go on and on and on. Prince Harry is my favourite living royal. And how do I find all these stories? So to deal with the second part of your question, basically I keep my ears to the ground. I follow lots of official royal reporters. I do get some tips off. I follow stories that are obviously happening at the time. If something comes up and it's current, I obviously try and get there really quick to do a video. Then there's things like royal tours. Obviously they're planned events, so I will cover some of the planned events. And I still can't see people because my wig is falling. There we go. Quick adjustment. So I get my sources from sort of all over the place. I do also do some investigation work, such as when I found out that the house he's rumoured to have been looking at, is now currently under offer. So I think he may be in the process of buying it, but I will keep my ears to the ground on that one. Vivian Martinez says, hello from Southern California. I love the video of Prince Philip and Prince Harry. I love watching the old videos of the young Queen Elizabeth and the handsome Duke of Edinburgh. Yes, they were a really gorgeous couple. I mean, both of them, when they were younger, were both absolutely stunning. The Duke of Edinburgh was very handsome, and the Queen was very beautiful indeed, very elegant. And definitely, as I've said before in the past, and I'm so glad that people are now catching on to what I said originally, Harry resembles his grandfather, the Duke of Edinburgh. I think even more so than Charles does. And that can happen. I myself resemble my granddad a lot more than what my own dad does. I don't know why, but I do. I have more features of what my granddad has than what my dad has. And I think the same has happened with Prince Harry and the Duke. He definitely looks a lot like him. And I'm really glad that hopefully this has put to rest those really cruel rumours which were aimed at being really bad and dangerous to Diana. I'm really glad that hopefully those rumours have now been put to rest. That he isn't the son of James Hewitt, as some conspiracy theorists would have you believe. So hopefully that is now proof, once and for all, that he isn't the child of James Hewitt, as we all knew anyway. So I'm just really glad that that's now out in the open and that people can see what I saw. Okay, Patricia says, thank you, I'm awesome, well thank you very much. Harry is my favourite royal too, keep up the good work. I will always try to keep up the good work for all my royal reviewers. And I would like to say, do we have Chelsea in the room? I know Chelsea is probably one of my youngest viewers, and she does sometimes pop into the chat. If she comes in later, I'll say this again, but I would like to say a really big thank you to Chelsea, who actually helped me do a little bit of reporting this week. Last week in the live chats, she asked me if Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, had any dogs. And I said that I didn't think she did, and that she'd probably have lots of horses, but might not have the time to keep dogs. Well, Chelsea messaged me in one of my video comment section, and she said that she'd done some research, and actually Camilla did actually have some dogs called Beth and Bluebell. So I found the article that she must have been reading, and I did a report on Camilla's dogs. So just in case you were wondering, and I'd like to make a correction, Camilla does indeed have dogs, 2 Jack Russells, Beth and Bluebell, and I'd like to thank Chelsea for her reporting. So thank you, Chelsea, and it just goes to show that as a community we can come together and we can help each other and we can share information and we can all report. So, you know, if you guys find something out and you tell me, then I will do a video on it. It's as simple as that. So you can all be royal reviewers, you can all report on the latest stories, just keep your ears to the ground like I do, and there you go. Your ideas may make it into one of my videos. So well done, Chelsea. I hope you pop in later and I will thank you again. But if not, if you're watching on catch up, then thank you very much. Okay. Just reading the questions. Angel says, "Hi, is Kate Middleton? Is she having a baby?" First of all, in the Royal Viewer chat room, we don't call her Kate Middleton. We call her Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge. And I don't mean to sound pedantic when I say that, but one of my pet hates is Catherine being called Kate Middleton. That was her name before marriage. And I blame the media. A lot of the media still call her Kate Middleton. So a lot of people who read those stories still call her Kate Middleton. But really, everyone should start calling her Catherine or the Duchess of Cambridge. Is she having a baby? Not that we know of. The only signs we had last time was that instead of drinking alcoholic drinks, she drank water. And obviously she waited until the first trimester in both pregnancies before she revealed anything. And obviously being of slender build, she doesn't exactly show that much very early on. So if she is pregnant, then she's concealing it. And has anybody noticed in any photos that she's been drinking alcohol or just water? Personally, I haven't noticed, but it is something to look out for. Usually these stories aren't true, they're just rumours to get headlines to sell papers. So, but obviously if there is any inkling of a new pregnancy, I will of course let you know. And I do think, my own personal opinion is that she won't stop at 2 children. I think she'll carry on and have 3 because she is a child from a 3-child family, so she's got 2 other siblings. So I think she will want that for George and Charlotte. Okay, Rayleigh says, "Hi, I finally made it." Hi, Rayleigh. And Angel says, "Hi." Rayleigh says, "Love the show. Usually have to watch the live recording." Well, I'm glad you've made it this time. The live recording is a really good idea because obviously people that can't make this specific time can catch up and, you know, in your own time when you're available to catch up. So do I have any other questions? If you've only just joined the chat, the format is that you leave a comment in the chat section below. And if you've just joined, I don't normally look like this. This is for Halloween, and I have my Halloween pumpkin, which was grown in my own garden. So I have 6 Halloween pumpkins which grew in my pumpkin patch, and they are going to be carved with faces. I haven't done them yet, but they will be carved, ready for Halloween. So I hope you all like Halloween as much as I do. It's a really good chance to dress up and just go a little bit crazy. So do I have any other questions? The chat sessions usually last for around about an hour or until the technology packs up on me, as it usually does, but I'm hoping it won't this time. So usually I'll stay on for around about an hour. But if the chat is really good and there's lots and lots and lots of questions, I will stay on longer. Okay. So we've spoken about Camilla's dogs, and I've given big thanks to Chelsea. We've spoken about Pippa's wedding plans. And I think I have another question or comment. Nancy Wright says, "Love the new look." Thank you. I won't be like this every week. I recently read that a British and American production company is putting a series about Queen Elizabeth on Netflix this fall. Have you heard anything about it? Yes, I have heard about it. I think they spent about £200 million, which is probably $350 million on it. So it's a very big production, a very elaborate production. They've paid quite a lot of attention to detail. The actors and the cast look really, really good. I have seen pictures of it. Unfortunately, I don't have Netflix and I don't subscribe to Netflix. But I did hear that it will be available on DVD. So I will be watching it when it's available on DVD. As I said, it looks really good. Some people have been saying it's not exactly historically accurate, but I think for a TV serialization drama, we can forgive them a few inaccuracies, as long as we know what they are. So we can give them a little bit of artistic license. It is a drama after all, but it does look really good, and I will be watching when it's out. So if anyone else is watching while it's on Netflix, please in these live chats talk about it. Let me know. Tell me what you think about it. So I am really looking forward to it, and I've known about it probably for about a year. So I've been waiting a long time, and I'm really looking forward to watching. Angel says, I'm from Oregon. Hello to everyone in Oregon, and the USA, and Canada, and Philippines, and England, and Europe, and Asia. Wherever you're from, if you're tuning in live, hello and welcome to Royal Reviewer Live Chat. And I do hope my new look hasn't frightened anybody off. That was me being spooky. Okay. Anything could happen tonight. It's one of those nights. Okay, and we've also spoke about Prince Harry looking a lot like Prince Philip. And also the Queen, the Duchess of Cornwall and Prince Charles opened Queen Mother Square in his development Poundbury. So if you've watched my video on that, we can have a little chat about Poundbury and what you think about his development and his dedication to his grandmother with it being Queen Mother Square. Okay, Nancy says, I got my copy of the Royal Cookbook. Well done. And think it's a beautiful book and very interesting. It is. It's very beautifully illustrated. It's well written. There's lots of facts and information, and of course the recipes, which I still haven't tried out yet. But when I do, I will video it, ready for my YouTube channel. Okay, so Nancy, have you made any of the recipes in the book yet? And if you do, please take a picture and send it to me. I'd love to see. You can send it to me on Facebook. Okay, Rennie says, I'm from McKinney in Texas. Hello to everyone from Texas. So, back to Poundbury. So Charles has been building this model village for about 25 years now. And it started, there was absolutely nothing there. It was just complete fields. It was in the middle of nowhere. And he decided to build an absolutely brand new town from scratch. There was nothing there, and so he set about it, and it's a very long standing project, and he's admitted that there were lots of difficulties to begin with planning and getting businesses to come into somewhere where there's nothing, because you have to get the schools and the infrastructure. So he put it all in as part of a scheme, and he wanted Poundbury to be of an architectural taste that was more traditional, rather than, as he put it, lots of carbuncles, which is modern buildings to him. So Poundbury, fast forward 25 years, and it's I think it's phase 2 of its development, and part of that is Queen Mother Square, where he built Strathmore House. So Strathmores were the Queen Mother's family, and the main Strathmore House is based on Buckingham Palace. And there's also a pub which is called the Duchess of Cornwall, which is modelled after the Ritz in London, and of course the Queen Mother Square. And they cast a new statue of the one that sits on the Mall, right near to Clarence House, which is where he lives. And it's the only other casting of that statue in existence. So whereas there was one, there is now 2. Okay, Caroline. Hi Caroline. She says she likes my new look and enjoying chat. Thank you. This look is not for keeps. It's just for Halloween. It's quite interesting having this much hair. And in case you were wondering, I am a spooky, ghoulish prince. Maybe a little bit Prince Albert from Victorian days. I was wondering if you've noticed, can you hear the spooky music in the background? Just wondering if you can hear it. Okay, Loretta says, hello, she made it. Hello, Loretta. Nancy says, I looked at the real estate listings for the development and was surprised to see the apartments are affordable and quite attractive. Yes, one thing he wanted was for Poundbury to be affordable, and it's a mixed development, so there will be some social housing, there will be some rental properties, and there will be some to buy, and all of different price ranges. So the big Strathmore house is actually split into apartments, luxury apartments. So if you've been on the website, you may have seen them. I think most of them are sold now, and they went up to about £400,000, which is probably $650,000 to $700,000. But there are lots of cheaper ones as well. So it's sold out really well. It is doing really well, and I think the town is going to just keep on growing. Especially 25 years later, when the people that have settled have had children, and now their children will be, possibly coming up to have children. So it really is becoming a new, modern, vibrant town that's built in a classical way and on classical principles, and sustainable principles too. Okay, so people are saying they can't hear the music. I do have some background spooky music on, so maybe if you hear something, it could be that. Okay, Vivian Martinez says, for Halloween, do British children dress as their favourite royals? Is that common? No, I haven't seen it. Halloween isn't as big in the UK as it is in the States. It is getting there, it's becoming a lot more popular. There's certainly lots of costumes and decorations and Halloween things in the shops. When I was young, sort of going back 25 years, I used to have Halloween parties, but that was quite rare back then. So I've always really liked Halloween, but it is becoming more and more popular, but I've not noticed anyone dressing up as their favourite royal. I wish they would. Maybe that's a trend we could start. Maybe for next year I could try and do something to go viral, and we could try and inspire children to dress as their Halloween royal. Well, I've dressed as a sort of spooky Prince Albert or something. Okay. Patricia says, are the royals doing anything for Halloween and the Christmas holidays? I really miss living in the UK. You keep me up on the stuff. I made a video a week ago, I think, about Princess Beatrice. No, it was Princess Eugenie. She dressed up and went to a Halloween ball, a charity Halloween ball, and she wore this really gaudy outfit, eclectic outfit that didn't really match anything, and it sort of had these weird cat ears with... It was just a complete mess. I think the phrase in American is, she looked a hot mess. She really did. So yes, Princess Eugenie has done something for Halloween, but I don't know about any of the other royals. Perhaps we may see some pictures emerging on the day. We'll have to wait and see. But if they do, I will let you know. Rayleigh says, I couldn't hear you over the music in Harry's elephant video. I wanted to try a new technique of putting music in the videos, and the way that I do it, I record my videos on an app on the phone, and I found a track which was royalty-free music, which means that I'm allowed to use it on YouTube without them removing the video, and I tried to speak over the top, but there was no function on my app that could turn the volume down, so it ended up being sort of my voice struggling over the top of the music. So I'm not going to do any more of those until I can work out how to turn down the music so that it's not competing with me. But I did quite like the effect, and I think if the music was the correct volume, it would actually add to the video rather than detract from the video. So please let me know what you think. That sort of side of things is a work in development. And if you've noticed on the latest videos, I've also managed to figure out how to do the end cards. So if you get to the end of the video, there will be several video recommendations pop up that you can click on, or a playlist, or one of the last videos, or just a recommended video. So you can click on those and sort of browse through my channel if you haven't seen any of those videos. So hopefully, Rayleigh, that clears up that issue. Okay, I've got someone asking if they're too late. No, you're not too late. I'm on for at least another half hour, and you can catch up with any sections of the chat you've missed on the live video that I will put up on YouTube when the chat has finished. Patricia says, "Oh darn." Yes, it was a bit of an oh darn. Caroline says, "Hi Elliot, I wanted to ask you what do you do for work, and I think your look for Halloween is cool. Thank you." Okay, basically for work, I work in education, and I work in special needs within the education. And within the special needs, I work with complex needs. So I work with a range of sort of secondary age children that have lots of different special educational needs and or medical needs. So that's what I do for work. And in case you're wondering, I have done a royal display for the children to look at. I had to. Okay. It says, "Nice outfit, thank you." As I will point out, just for anyone who has just tuned in, and if this is your first time tuning in, I do not normally dress like this. It is for Halloween. And if you guys haven't seen my pumpkin, this is a pumpkin that I grew in my own garden. So I hope you like my pumpkin. And Rayleigh says she agrees. Okay, so thank you for agreeing. Do I have any other questions? If you've got a question for me about the British royal family, please leave it in the chat box below and I will endeavour to answer all of your questions. In fact, I had a comment on one of my videos this week about how I dress in my videos, and I thought I'd speak about that today. So one of the comments was, and to be honest, it's a fair comment, and of course I welcome all comments, so I was very glad of it, but they said that I should dress more smartly, maybe with a jacket and a coloured top underneath, and they said that people might take me more seriously if I dressed a bit more seriously. And my response to that was, well, I'm not going to rule that out. I may dress like that sometime to give it a try, but the whole idea of these chats is to be informal. It's me inviting you into my home, my kitchen in fact. So I didn't really want to dress. I wanted to dress how I normally dress in my own home, so that it's like inviting you in and it's informal and you feel like you can ask me whatever you want. So I sort of said, I said that's why I dress the way I do in my videos, but I didn't rule out dressing a little bit more smart. So let me know what you think about that. Do you think I should dress up a bit more smartly? Sort of news reporter style or with a jacket, or do you think I'm okay the way that I am? And just in case that viewer's tuning in now, so we've gone from how I normally dress to Halloween wear. So you can tell that I don't really take clothes that seriously, and I don't mind having a bit of fun and changing it up and trying out different looks, because that's what life is about, and that's what I think everyone should do. Why be restricted, and why have to try to conform to how people think that you should look? So I'll just leave that thought with you and let me know what you think. Okay. Nancy says, "Pumpkins are not easy to grow, good work. I actually grew 6, so thank you." Patricia says, "Lucky children, and I admire the job you're doing. Thank you very much. I enjoy it too, or else I wouldn't do it." Loretta says, "Came late, but I was wondering if Prince Charles and the Duke of York have worked out their problems. Also, why does Prince Charles want the government to talk with Prince Andrew?" Right, this is a big issue. Of course, none of the royals have spoken about it publicly. This has all come from inside, and we know that Prince Andrew hasn't been happy since round about 2012, when he felt like his family was demoted in favour of the core 7, which is the Queen, Duke of Edinburgh, Duchess of Cornwall, Prince of Wales, William, Catherine, Harry, and of course now the children. So they are the core of the family that are going to obviously take it forwards down the generations. And Andrew always felt a bit slighted that he'd been sort of put back a bit. And of course his daughters lost their full-time royal protection. They do get royal protection if they're on public events or if they are doing something on behalf of the Queen, but because they don't do full-time work, it's not full-time. So this has been ongoing since then, and I think as the girls have got older, they've shown an interest in doing royal work, and I think Andrew wants them to do that. And of course, Andrew asked the Queen by way of letter if they could, and the Queen passed it on to Prince Charles, who basically has said that he doesn't think it's possible yet, but he would like the government to speak to Andrew and tell him why. Now personally, I feel that there is a place for the York princesses, but not quite yet. I think William and Harry and Catherine aren't at full capacity, and there are still a lot of the Queen's cousins who are still doing royal duties. So until some of those sadly pass on, or William and Harry and Catherine are at capacity, there isn't really a justifiable reason for them having a full-time royal role. But I think they are acknowledged as the only blood princesses, and they are accorded the status and rank and everything that goes with that. But they don't do full-time royal duties, and I don't think this problem will be resolved anytime soon. I think we will see them doing more charity work off their own back, which hopefully will keep them in good stead for when the time is right. Okay, Patricia says, I wouldn't change a thing, thank you. Vivian says, I often hear about Prince Michael of Kent and the Princess Michael, but who are their children? I heard their son was not too popular among the senior royals. That their son is Lord Freddie Windsor, and I think he is quite popular. I don't know why people would say that he's not popular. Again, he has his own career and life, and even though he has a place in the line of succession, it's not immediate and it is quite far down the line, so of course he lives his own life, as you have to, or else you face the same problem as the York princesses with this sort of limbo state of, do you work or are you a full-time royal? Do you get protection or do you not? I actually think that Zara has got everything right. She's an independent woman. She's had a career in the equestrian sector, and she's making her own money and she's paving her own way. But everyone still knows her as a royal and the granddaughter of the Queen. So I think maybe Anne was sometimes criticised for not giving her children royal titles, but perhaps it's worked out for the best. Okay. Was Princess Beatrice? I've just checked. So yes, Beatrice went to the ball dressed in that really weird concoction of a costume that didn't really have any focus or flow. Okay, Vivian says, I think Charles should give royal duties to Lady Sarah. She seems the most down to earth. She is a very respected member of the royal family, but I think she's quite happy to be on the peripheral and, you know, still attend those big royal family events, but not have to do the royal duties and have everything that goes with that, because of course it's not just the royal duties, it's the protection that you have to have and everything else. So although I think she'd be really good with it, I agree, I don't think she'd actually want it. Okay, I've got the comment that says, it's okay, you cover so many events, it's easy to get mixed up. It is. I certainly have a lot of royal names going through my head and a lot of events that are upcoming and ones that have happened. It is quite easy to get confused with what I've covered, what I haven't covered, and sometimes what's in them. Because of course, I researched a lot of information, and some of it sticks. Most of it sticks in my head, and most of it I can recall when asked to do so. In fact, I wouldn't be able to do these live royal chats, getting any sort of question, which of course I don't know the questions that are coming up, so I wouldn't be able to do that if I couldn't recall the vast amount of royal information I have in my head. But yes, you're right, sometimes you can forget things, or you have to re-look things up that maybe you knew before. I suppose it's the same as when you learn things in school, like trigonometry and maths, and you don't use it, so you forget it, but of course you can always go back and relearn it. So that's what I sort of liken that to. Okay, another question. Have you ever sent a letter to any of the royal family members? Interesting you should say that. I am going to do that. I'm going to, with the children that I work with, we are going to compile a letter, and we are going to send it to the Queen and see if we get a reply. So that is one thing I am going to do. Hello, so hopefully you haven't gone too far and you're back. So I'm just going to put in the chat box that I'm back on. Of course, we've just had a technical problem, so if I've lost you, please reload and hopefully you can get back into the chat. So, hopefully you can all hear me. If you can hear me, please say hi again. And I was answering a question, so I'll just wait until everyone gets back on before I carry on answering that question. And I'll just explain a little bit if you've just tuned in, because obviously now that this video has split in two, this will now be part 2 of the video. So if you're just watching part 2 and you're wondering why I'm dressed like this, it is a Royal Reviewer Halloween special live chat. So I'm dressed as a spooky sort of gothic prince, and I have one of my pumpkins that I grew with me. So welcome back to the chat. Hopefully you're rejoining, and I will carry on with the questions. So scrolling back up, one of the questions was from Caroline, and she said, why is it that people from the UK on YouTube don't like William and Catherine, where here in America we love them? I think a lot of people feel conflicted by Prince William and Catherine's lifestyle. Prince William, as we know, has a part-time job as an air rescue pilot, which is a very noble job. I suppose a little bit kind of like what I do. It's sort of a caring type role where he rescues people. But he's only a part-time royal. And I think a lot of people at this age see an ageing Queen and think that William should step up and do full-time royal duties. And I think they see him as quite reluctant to be doing what he was destined to do. And I wouldn't go as far as saying they think he's work shy, but they think he should be doing full-time royal duties. And the same for Catherine. I mean, I think if we look at, say, Princess Diana when she was Catherine's age, because let's face it, you know, both of them are coming up to a similar age to when Princess Diana sadly lost her life. They're about 4 years. Okay, so welcome back to Royal Reviewer. This will now be part 3 of this week's series, and of course it's a Halloween live special. So I was previously answering the question about Prince William and Catherine, and I was saying that although they're not seen as work shy, they're seen as that they do more royal duties. And I think Catherine as well, if you look at the age they were, they're similar to the age Princess Diana was. And if you look at when she was doing the royal duties, she was combining motherhood with a full-time royal schedule. And of course Catherine is very much doing half and half. So I think people feel a little bit conflicted about William and Catherine's devotion to royal duties. So hopefully that clears up that question. I'm just going back to see if I've missed any questions because of our technical trouble. Okay. Okay. I've got another question from Vivian. Have I ever been to Highgrove and taken the tour? No, but it's on my list of things to do. I have Prince Charles's Highgrove book, and I'm really interested in seeing a particular area of his garden called the Stumpery, which is lots of logs which are upturned and tree stumps and lots of ferns and those sorts of plants grow. Hi there guys, this is the last time I'm going to try tonight, so if it cuts off again, I'm sorry. I'm going to end the chat. But for now, I'll try and answer as many questions as I can really quickly. So I'm going to do a series of videos on Christmas Day when the royals arrive at the church. Okay, I've answered the question about Princess Alexandra. Vivian says, what's going on with James Middleton? What does he do for a living and who's he dating? Very quickly, he owns a company called Boomph, which prints pictures onto marshmallow cakes for business and corporate events. He has been dating Donna Eyre, but there's also been rumours circulating about his sexuality. But he has been publicly dating a British television presenter called Donna Eyre. So in a nutshell, really quickly, that's that question answered. Loretta says, are the royals who perform royal duties paid by the event or annual fee? They aren't paid anything. Basically, they get the expenses paid for the event, and it's all paid from the Queen's income that she receives. So basically, they don't receive a salary, but they might be entitled to accommodation and some living expenses. But it's not that there isn't a fee per event, and there certainly isn't a salary as there is in some European monarchies where each working royal might receive £1 million a year. You don't get that in this country. It's all expense driven, and then just many questions that I really want to answer. Okay, so I was answering one about James Middleton. I think I answered that one. Okay. Is Pippa Middleton's fiancé good friends with William? I think they're acquaintances. I wouldn't say they're good friends, but they are certainly acquaintances. Vivian says she thinks all the technical trouble is the Halloween goblins. I think you might be right there. And Patricia says, I really don't understand all the Pippa Middleton hurrah. I think people are interested because she's the sister of Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge. And I think people love weddings, so of course I suppose you could say it's a quasi-semi royal event. Of course there will be royals in attendance, so it's a chance for people to get excited and be expectant of the event and want to see the dress and everything else that goes with it. I do hope we will be able to get to see it and it won't be completely private. Denise says, hi, you're a Beatle. I don't know if it's supposed to look, well, it's not a Beatles wig, but it's supposed to be a different look, and it's for Halloween. So if you think it looks like a Beatle, that's fine. I suppose, yeah, Sergeant Pepper, I suppose it does. It's actually my Prince costume. It's my Prince William wedding outfit costume that I have worn before for costume parties. Okay, is the stepmother of Diana buried? We've not heard anything about a funeral yet, so I'm not sure if the funeral has taken place. There's been no reports of it, but I will let you know as soon as I know something. And I think there was a question further up. Was it about Diana's grave? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if someone asked a question about Diana's grave.